Hey, I know divorce is a rough ride, and selling a house on top of all of that can really feel like pouring salt into the wound. And think about it, agreeing on a price, dealing with repairs, and having showings with your ex, how much more stressful can it be, right? That's why a lot of people going through divorce wonder if they should sell their house before everything is finalized. There's no perfect answer, but I can definitely help you figure out what makes the most sense for you and your situation. Now, are you feeling the emotional strain of the divorce? It's already a roller coaster, and trying to sell the house with your ex can add more tension. Can you imagine with all the arguments of when to have showings or who pays for repairs? On top of that as well, there's the financial uncertainty. Selling your house is a big deal, and it's normal to worry about how the money will be split and how that's going to affect you and how you're going to live in the future. Now, maybe you just feel stuck. You're eager to move on with a fresh start, but the house feels like a tie to the past. Is holding on to it keeping you from getting closure? These are all totally normal concerns, and by talking them through, we can figure out the best way forward. So let's explore the pros and cons of selling before the divorce is final. My goal is to find a solution that works for both you emotionally and financially. I've gone through a divorce myself and have helped dozens of families just like you navigate real estate, mortgage, equity buyouts, buying and selling, all during the divorcing process. Now, without wasting any time, let's talk about why selling the house before finalizing the divorce might actually be a good move. Now, it can save you a ton of money and hassle in the long run. Think about it. You'd only have to pay regular realtor fees like mine instead of each of you having lawyers to comb through the paperwork and racking up hourly charges. Plus, handling the cash from a pre-divorce sale is way easier than dealing with a mortgage and other complications later on. Here's a heads up though. If you do decide to sell beforehand, make sure you're both on the same page and stay married until the paperwork clears. Going through the divorce in the middle of selling can stall everything out. Another big perk is ditching the mortgage and all those pesky home expenses. And let's be clear, keeping up with the house payment, utilities, and maintenance can be tough when you're trying to fly solo. Selling before the split means you won't be stuck trying to figure out who pays for what or dealing with the potential stress of foreclosure if neither of you can manage it. And on top of that, the money from the sale can be used to settle your divorce agreement and give you both a fresh start financially to get that going. Speaking of finances, selling the house can give you some much needed cash to start your life as a new single person. You can take it as a down payment for a new place, a short-term rental while you get settled, or even moving expenses if you're planning on a fresh start across town or even across the country. And literally, your house can hold a lot of emotional baggage as well, especially during the divorce. It might not be filled with those happy memories, or maybe it's just a constant reminder of your past relationship. Selling before the divorce is finalized can help you both move on and create a cleaner break. And this is also helpful if you have kids, because the clean break with the house can help them adjust to having two separate homes as long as there's consistent expectations at both places. And finally, selling while you're still married can save you money on taxes as well. There's a special exemption for married couples selling their home, so you can potentially avoid paying capital gains tax on that sale. Moreover, selling before the divorce can help you avoid a lot of arguments and legal fees. The faster that you can agree on what to do with the house, the sooner that you can move on and deal with other aspects of the divorce without getting bogged down in disagreements. But selling before divorce isn't always the right choice. So it's your chance really to evaluate this situation, because there can be some serious downsides to consider as well. Now, one big concern is getting stuck in limbo. Selling a house can take time, especially these days. We're seeing days on market creep up a little bit. Now, if you and your ex can't agree on a price or who keeps the house plans, getting the house pretty for showings, the whole process can really stall out, leaving you in limbo and delaying the divorce process even longer. There might be a workaround though. Your divorce agreement could say that you could sell your house later, which would still allow you to avoid potential capital gains as a married couple, which is one of the things that we want to focus on, saving that tax money. And speaking of your ex, they might try to use the house as a sale bargaining chip during the divorce. So imagine lowball offers on furniture that you both want, or endless arguments about who gets the sentimental stuff. That's obviously not ideal. So even if you sell the house before things are finalized with the court system, you still got to figure out how to split up that money and all the things inside. Divorce is already tough on everyone, especially kids. And adding selling a house on top of that can be a recipe for stress and anxiety for those little ones. Imagine all those showings with strangers walking through the house and the whole ordeal of moving. That could be a lot to handle for everybody, and some parenting experts even say it might be better for the kids just to move to a new place right away so they can start fresh on the healing process. And there's also a chance of getting lowballed in this situation, because in today's world of social media being everywhere, it's not that hard for potential buyers to do some digging and see if you're in a distressed situation like a divorce, which could lead to them offering less than your home is worth. But that's where we come in. We want to keep things discreet and make sure that the house looks lived in, inviting, decluttered. And there's also options for selling, if you had to, a private party without even a public listing. Now, your house is probably your largest asset, so how you split the proceeds after the sale is a large deal, of course. You don't want to end up fighting with your ex and wasting all of that money that you made on the home sale on lawyer fees. And sometimes it might be better just to wait till the divorce is finalized before selling the house. Although, if you do it correctly and follow a strategic plan and have a really mutually beneficial outcome for both you and your ex-spouse, selling beforehand, oftentimes, in our past experience with clients, is a much easier way to go about the divorcing process and really take some of the extra stress off the table by knowing that the home is sold and they know what their price point is, the profit that they can split. And it ultimately leads to a more seamless process. And that's just going off experience with our past clients. There's no golden rule here, but one of the things we don't want to have our emotions cloud our judgment. A messy fight over the house will only cost you more money in the long run. The best way to make this thing work is obviously have open communication and be honest with your ex. But going through a divorce can make communication quite difficult. And that's where a pro like me comes in. We can help mediate and moderate the communication process. And I'm here to help you navigate smoothly and get the most money for your house. Here at Just Living Realty, we really understand the complexities involved with selling a house during a divorce, or heck, even a breakup. We'll take time to listen to your situation and guide you through the process every step of the way. Now let's get the best outcome for you and your home, as well as your life, so that you can move on with everything as we get rid of this asset. And while you're here, why don't you check out one of these other videos? It can help you with the home selling or even the home buying process as you move forward. And if you really want to just sit down and have a quick consultation, check the link in the description or the top pinned comment. You have a direct link to my calendar. Just pick a time that jives with your schedule, and we can come up with an action plan together. As always, get out and enjoy our great Colorado sunny days. Stay sweet.